The push press is an explosive exercise that recruits a range of muscles around the body, as this is a big compound multi-joint exercise utilizing lower body and upper body muscles in one explosive movement. The push press can increase upper body strength and size due to the large amounts of loads that can be lifted relative to total body strength. The push press can be done using a wide array of repetition schemes for muscle growth, power, strength, and endurance, making it an optimal exercise for inclusion in most programs focusing on power and strength development and muscle hypertrophy. The push press is an explosive power lift that integrates powerful hip, knee, and ankle extension. The extension of these three joints of the hip, knee, and ankle creates triple extension of the joints. Lorenz 2016 reinforces how vital it is for athletes to train their body in movements such as the push press that require triple extension for execution, as utilizing all the joints in the lower body is the optimal way for an athlete to create any form of power or velocity, which is directly correlates with any explosive high-energy sport. The push press increases leg and hip strength and total body explosiveness through the overhead press, which engages the shoulders and upper traps, rhomboids, and back. Being able to create force through the ground and move the weight forcefully with intent to increase velocity is a key physiological attribute for most athletes, making the push press an excellent compound lift to improve power and overall strength in an athlete. The push press also increases ankle mobility, knee mobility, and hip mobility, as all these joints are trained through a full range of motion. Is performed correctly when the rate of force development is high, which ensures that the triple extension is at its best. The faster the movement is performed, the more powerful an athlete can be within the lift, which will translate to their performance at their sport. The muscles used in a push press are the anterior deltoid, the lateral deltoid, and the posterior deltoid, which make up the shoulder, and also the serratus anterior, which is the serratus anterior, the infraspinatus, which is the rotator cuff, which all comprise the shoulder, the tricep brachii, and the ancorinus, which is a part of the tricep, the pectoralis major, pectoralis minor, the coron brachialis, which is the chest, which is the pushing movement, the gluteus maximus, the gastrocnemius, the rectus femoris, and the hip flexor, and also the hamstrings and glutes, which work with the triple extension of the hips, knees, and ankle. To perform the push press, the critical element of the technique is to get to the starting position by using the floor to shoulder lifting technique. So you want to get the bar just resting on our chest and shoulders, and you want to dip at the hips and drive through the toes to get our ankles on top. So you want to really get that triple extension through the ankles, knees, and hips. So bend at the hips and then drive through the toes and through the hips and knees. So when we start, we want to keep our head neutral and we want to look forward. We're keeping our chest up, shoulders back, and torso tense. We want to be as explosive as we can because this is a power movement. We want to be, the quicker the bar goes, the better we're going, really. At the starting point, we're slightly flexed at the knees and hips. So he's kind of doing it. So his head's neutral, his eyes are gazed forward. He's got his chest up, his shoulders back. He bends at the hips. So at first he wasn't really bending at the hips. He was more leaning forward with the knees. So I had to correct it. So now he's come back. So he's corrected it by dipping at the hips and then driving through onto the toes and getting that real plantar flexion. So it's an explosive dip, drive, and push upwards. So like we're jumping up or throwing a medicine ball over our head. That was the cue. Really getting that triple extension. So we want the balls of our feet. We want to be off the balls of our feet and plantar flex on our toes. Pushing the bar off our shoulder. Our feet are shoulder width apart. Our poise turning forward, similar to a back squat, and our heels raise off the floor during the lift, and our elbows are fully extended overhead. So So now I'm going to try to push press with some weight, just some light weight. So I'm really focusing on explosive dip, drive, and push upwards, with getting maximum hip and knee extension, and getting onto the balls of my feet and plantar flexing. So really getting my calves really flexed, getting the triple extension. So it was actually the first time I've really had to teach this exercise to do it. So I can definitely improve my technique, but just it's a very good exercise for explosive strength and power for an athlete. The push press is a great exercise for all athletes to incorporate into a power development program and has great benefits for athletes. The push press is also a great exercise to improve ankle mobility and to increase the knee and hip mobility that an athlete will possess, which transfers definitely over to athletic performance in their sport.